Today, I will tell you the story of a dutiful son, Ram, who went to exile for 14 years in order to fulfill the promises that his father Dasharath made to one of his queens, Kaikeyi. Long, long ago in India, there lived a king whose name was Dasharath. He ruled the kingdom of Koshal, part of present-day Uttar Pradesh, from its capital Ayodhya. He was loved by one and all because he cared for the happiness and prosperity of his subjects. Dasharath had 3 queens, Kaushalya, Kaikeyi and Sumitra. Even though Dasharath had everything to make him happy, he was very sad at heart because he had no children. Dasharath was getting old and was worried for not having an heir to inherit his throne. Upon the advice of his guru, that is spiritual guide, Vashisht, Dasharath performed a great sacrificial fire worship. On the final day of worship, a figure appeared in the huge flame with a bowl of rice pudding. The figure intoned, "Take this rice pudding and divide this amongst your wives. They will give you the sons you desire." Then it disappeared. Dasharath took the bowl to his first wife, Kaushalya, and gave her half of the pudding. Out of what was left, he divided that to his second wife, Kaikeyi, and the third wife, Sumitra. When a little bit of pudding was still in the bowl, he gave that to Sumitra, saying, "Here, finish it up." Kaushalya duly gave birth to a son, Ram. Kaikeyi was next, with a son, Bharat. Sumitra was the last. She had been given 2 helpings, so she had twin boys, Lakshman and Shatrughna. As the boys grew older, Lakshman got attached to his eldest brother Ram and Shatrughna to Bharat. All the brothers, however, were very close and loved each other. Ram was respected by all because of his good nature and truthful character. He was strong, handsome, and was the heir to the throne. When the boys were close to 16, it was one day, sage Vishwamitra arrived in the court of Dasharath. Vishwamitra requested Dasharath to send Ram and Lakshman with him to the forest to kill the demons who disturbed him in his prayers. Ram and Lakshman accompanied the sage and killed the she-demon Talaka and her followers. Vishwamitra was pleased and taught Ram the sacred verses to call for the divine weapons to be used to protect justice. After completing the task, Ram was ready to return home when Vishwamitra asked Ram to accompany him to the kingdom of Janak. Janak's eldest daughter Sita was about to pick a husband from the princes assembled in the Swayamvar. Swayamvar is a gathering arranged for choosing a royal husband. Almost every prince present in the assembly wanted to marry Sita, as she was the most beautiful girl on earth. To choose the best of the princes in the gathering, a condition was laid. Sita will marry the prince who will be able to bend and string a very heavy bow left in the front of the assembly. One after another, all princes tried to lift the bow, but it could not be lifted, let alone bend and string. It weighed like a mountain. Finally, Janak was about to give up when Vishwamitra asked Ram to try. Ram took his blessing, prayed, and lifted the bow at ease. When he tried to string the bow, it snapped in two. Ram proved to be the strongest prince in the assembly. Sita happily garlanded him. Dasharath was informed and he requested Janak to let the three sisters of Sita marry his other three sons, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna. Janak was overwhelmed with the unexpected offer from Dasharath. He immediately made all arrangements, and all the four brothers got married together in front of the sacrificial fire. Dasharath then decided to retire, making Ram the crown king of Koshal. But things did not go according to Dasharath's plan. When the day of coronation of Ram was announced, Bharat and Shatrughna were at their maternal uncle's place. The city started to prepare for the occasion, and the queens were happy for the oncoming event. At this time, Dasharath's second wife, Kaikeyi, got an ill advice from her scheming hunchback maid, Manthara. Manthara said to Kaikeyi, "Why are you happy in celebrating Ram's coronation? Don't you realize that he will not be as respected as Kaushalya, and Bharat will be totally ignored?" "What nonsense you talk," said Kaikeyi. "I love Ram and he's the heir." "Not if you change things," said Manthara in a devilish voice. "But how can I?" "Easily," said the scheming maid. "Remember, a very long ago, you saved Dasharath's life during a war. And he said he would grant you any two wishes. Yes. And I said I would ask for my wishes later, when I knew what I wanted," said Kaikeyi. "Exactly," shouted Manthara. "Ask for them now. Ask for Bharat to be crowned king and for Ram to be banished to the forest for 14 years. Kaikeyi fell a prey to the conspiracy of Manthara. When Dasharath came to accompany her to the coronation ceremony, Kaikeyi was lying on the floor sobbing. Dasharath repeatedly asked the queen about the thing that was bothering her. Kaikeyi replied, "Do you recall the promise you made when I saved your life in the battlefield to fulfill two of my wishes?" "Yes, my queen," said Dasharath. "I remember that, and I will not break my promise. Ask for what you desire." Kaikeyi sternly said, "Crown Bharat king and banish Ram to the forest for 14 years. King Dasharath was stunned into silence. He or his ancestors had never broken a promise. What could he do now? His happiness and his future had all been stolen from him instantly. Dashrath somehow whispered to his attendant, "Go and get Ram." When Ram arrived, his father was far too unhappy to speak. It was Kaikeyi who spoke. "Bharat is to be king, and you are to be banished for 14 years. Is this what my dear father desires?" asked Ram. "Your father is keeping his 2 promises to me," Kaikeyi answered. "Then I have no choice. I must honor my father's word. If promises are made, they must be kept. Let Bharat rule. I leave for the exile immediately." Sita and Lakshman insisted to accompany Ram. Dashrath died shortly following Ram's departure. When Bharat came to know about this, he got furious with his mother, and Shatrughna kicked Manthara out of the house. Then Bharat went after Ram in order to request him to come back and rule the kingdom. Ram very humbly refused, as he did not want his father's promises to be broken. Bharat returned to Ayodhya with Ram's sandals and ruled the kingdom as an appointee of Ram. Even in the palace, he chose to lead the life of a hermit, like his elder brother Ram. During the exile, Sita was abducted by the demon king Ravan. Ram hunt out Ravan with the help of the monkey king Sugriv and his commander Hanuman. A fierce battle ensued, and Ravan was finally defeated. Ram triumphantly returned to Ayodhya with Sita after 14 years of exile. We celebrate Diwali in memory of Ram's return to Ayodhya. Ram is considered by all Indians as an ideal son who willingly undertook hardship in order to save his father's honor. He was also a great warrior and an emblem of justice.